Hello, everyone. I just want to wish you a good day, good evening, or even a good morning to wherever it is that you're plugging into. And thank you for joining Railbookers as we're going to discuss a lot about scenic rail journeys and much more. Now, as everyone is plugging in, I do want to mention my name is Baltazar Lopez, and I'm one of the business development executives here with Railbookers, and I'll be your host for today. Now, I'm going to take some time explaining really who we are, the things that we're able to do, of course, some of our top scenic vacation journeys, but more importantly, I'll even discuss some of the advantages that you have by booking through Railbookers, which isn't available anywhere else in the marketplace today. Now, with everyone plugging in, again, welcome for everyone who just plugged in. But if you can direct your attention to the sidebar, you can download 4 handouts completely free on the side, one of which is the rail system map, as well as our maximum flexibility offer and much more. And if you have any questions during any part of this presentation, please input them in the question box, and I'll be more than happy to provide an answer towards the end of the session. Now, this presentation may be more or less 30 to 40 minutes, just depending on the amount of questions that we receive. So again, feel free to throw as much as you want in there. And just to make sure that we all get used to the question box, let me know exactly where you're plugging in from. What is your hometown that you're plugging in and representing? I'm actually speaking to you from Laguna Niguel, California, over here in Orange County. But we had a few travelers on the last session who were plugging in from Australia, UK, all over the States, as well as in the Canadian area. But for everyone here, I see that we have someone from New York, we have Chicago in the house, and just continue throwing that in. We have someone from Singapore. Well, maybe you're traveling right now trying to get another travel in. We have Ohio, Cleveland specifically. Awesome. Well, we're going to have a full house, and I'm sure as many more plug in, that's going to continue to be used. I just want you to get used to the question tab. But again, love that so many people are plugging in. Now, what else that we're going to be covering is, yes, of course, the iconic rail journeys, as well as the limited time offer on many different vacation journeys. We'll talk about the maximum flexibility offer that we've never had before. But mainly it was for the purpose of the current times that we're in. And I'll also share with you how the European rail operators are actually providing a safe environment for your next vacation trip. Now, with all the different attendees plugging in, again, welcome. But I know that many of you have probably used our brand before or made it to one of our presentations, and there are a few of you where this is your first time plugging in. So just to make sure we're all on the same page, really, who are we? Now, Yankee Holidays, that was actually our first brand. That was established about 48 years ago in 1972. Now, in 2007, Yankee Leisure Group was created as we began managing multiple brands. So today we now have 3 distinct brands. Yankee Holidays for all of your city and national park getaways. We have our Amtrak Vacations brand for our city and national park getaways with the rail in between. And then our Railbookers brand, which we're going to focus on today, for all of your worldwide independent rail vacations. Now, what I want to mention is that why do our travelers love using Railbookers? And I'm going to hit a lot of these main points. First off, booking up to 24 months in advance. And yes, we can now help you with the long-term reservations for if you're looking at this year, next year, the year after. We help all of our travelers make the best reservation. Now we have bucket list experiences as well as for special occasions for honeymoons, activities, weddings, proposals. And we offer freedom and flexibility along the train. We're not confined to a seat like a bus or a plane. We have scenic journeys, which again, you're going to see today. We have reservations where you can actually just deposit and then you can actually pay the reservation once we reach 90 days before departure. And you can choose your own accommodation. So when you see these packages, and if you're wondering which hotels are included, are you limited just to one property? Well, we range from 3, 4, and 5-star options in all the different cities and lodges that you have access to pick and choose from. And everything I'm going to go over today is fully customizable, where if you want to break a package down, if you want to add tours or cities in between, even different rail connections, we can absolutely do that. And if need be, if we have nothing that you're looking for, well, then we can always build the package from scratch. Now, like I said, I'm coming in from Laguna Niguel, California, more specifically our office, Laguna Hills, California. And I want to share with you that we actually have the best support for you. So whenever you're traveling, no matter which part of the world you're in, we have an office that has operating hours. So if you have a question, any kind of concerns, well, on your voucher, there'll be a number that you can call, which will reach one of our offices in your time zone. So say you're in Europe, well, we have a London office, we have our Sydney office, and our Beverly office that's all there to assist you. So like I said, Laguna Hills, California is the office I'm located at. We have one in Beverly, Massachusetts, Toronto over in Canada, London in the UK, as well as Sydney, Australia. So this is the entire support that you have for any one of our reservations. And so maximum flexibility offer. We've never had this before, just like how we never had the pandemic before. And I understand many of our travelers, they want to travel. They don't want to stay inside. They realize that now when more than ever, they actually want to go on a vacation because they feel it's being taken away from them. But we never know what's going to happen in the near future. Well, this is allowing you to be able to now book in confidence, where if you want to book a trip, say for the beginning of next year, for 2021, whether it's in Europe or Canada or Alaska. Well, let's say that for some reason the lockdown's extended in that area and you're no longer able to travel. Well, since you booked by September 30th, you can actually change your travel dates or cancel your journey up to 5 days prior to departure, and you will not face any kind of change or cancellation fees. So this is now, again, allowing you to book in confidence, knowing that if something comes up, something that wasn't planned, we can always move your trip to a later date, change your destination to maybe a different one of our locations, or even just plan for next year if need be. And this also qualifies for anyone who has existing reservations with us already. Now, I also want to help take out the mystery from the rail travel itself. All of these lines here on this map, do you see all those different colors? Those are all the different rail systems that are operating throughout Europe, and none of them talk to each other. But with Railbookers, we actually have direct contracts with all of them, which is why we can put together any kind of journey, even when it crosses borders. And we will give you the most efficient and more scenic journey instead of you needing to go look for the exact route yourself. And not only that, but we're partnered directly with the rail systems like Trenitalia, Deutsche Bahn, Eurostar, Amtrak, Via Rail. And because of our partnerships, we have the insider access where we can make rail reservations up to 24 months in advance, including the pricing and the schedules. Now that's huge because if anyone were to go look into the public, I'm sure you'll find that you're only able to look about 3 months prior to departure, which means you can only book part of your trip and you have to wait till the last minute to actually make a rail reservation, where for us, we can do it up to 24 months in advance. Now, a big question is, how is the rail operators maintaining a safe environment for your next vacation? Now, I'm very excited to share this with you because during the entire pandemic, there's a reason why the trains have still been operating throughout this day. And it's because they maintained and under these guidelines. So the way they adjusted is they've required facial coverings in the stations and on the trains for both passengers and staff members, which I'm sure everyone here has experienced already if you're going to the grocery stores or the grocery markets. Now, they've also stopped the sale of food and drinks on board the trains in order to minimize the hand-to-hand contact being in the dining halls, and which is completely fine because with the high-speed trains in Europe, the trains you're really only riding on it for about a few hours at a time. So you can enjoy your meals at your hotels before and after you board the train. Now they've changed the seat configuration, so there's always going to be space in between you and the other travelers. And the big question is, how do they do that? Well, they do it because they're only selling about 50% of their capacity in most of the trains, which means that they're purposely not selling half of their inventory in order to allow you to have space in between you and the other travelers. Now they've also increased the cleaning and sanitation. The way they've done that is they've actually on an hourly basis have team members who clean the seats, the station itself, inside the train itself, and all the different accommodations within. And they've also went to contactless ticket control in order to, again, minimize the hand-to-hand contact with the other travelers and staff members. So these are the guidelines that they've really taken in place to make it the most safe and efficient way of traveling through the European and many other territories. And just to kind of address the elephant in the room, rail bookers, I understand it can be very easily assumed that we just book rail tickets, but we're much more than that. We actually, yes, book seat reservations, but as well as sightseeing and activities, hotels from 3, 4, 5-star options. We have access to ferries and different excursions on the water. We have overnight rail journeys and much more. So when you think of rail bookers, you can actually think of us more as a one-stop shop for your entire reservation. And here is our amazing booking window. We can make reservations from 2 days to 2 years. So if you're looking for a last minute vacation, feel free to give us a call and we'll let you know what's available. But if you're looking for a journey 24 months out from now, then we can still help you with that reservation with pricing and schedule included in the journey. Now, right before I share with you the amazing scenic trains with all the vacation journeys we have to offer in the packages, I do want to let you know why even take the train in the first place. And I just want to share with you when I've taken a bus, a tour bus, a car rental, anything when traveling, I never mind it, which I'm sure many of you on this call never minded. Where when I took a bus, I never really noticed the issues because the whole goal was to get to the next city to take my vacation trip. Well, here is what happened. When I realized the experience that it is on the train system, that changed everything for me. Because when I was on the train, I was able to go see different sites where there was a lounge area, observation car, a dining car. They had large panoramic windows. And since someone else is doing all the driving, I can actually get up and roam around throughout the entire train, no matter how much I like. On top of that, I also had access to private quarters if I did upgrade my class. Now, not only that, but the tracks actually went through the terrain. So I was going through the mountains, I was going by water, seeing incredible waterfalls and incredible sights that took me right to my vacation itself. It was more of a vacation towards a vacation. And after experiencing that, then I looked at the bus of what I took before, and that kind of opened my eyes. I then noticed that I didn't like how I had to share the armrest with the other traveler. I had the air conditioning I had to share with the other traveler. We all watched the same movie on a rerun, awkward eye contact with the rearview mirror of the driver, and then no one ever wanted to actually walk in the back of the bus for the restroom. And so again, this is just an all-around better experience to get to your vacation trip, and it's all within all of our packages. Now, the Bernina Express. Now we're going to be focusing on Switzerland trains. Now, with these Swiss trains, the Bernina Express is really, in my own opinion, what all toy trains that aspire to be. As the stunning scenery will take your breath away as you explore the Swiss Alps. This train goes right through the UNESCO World Heritage Site at about 7,300 feet above sea level. Again, mountain terrain, snow-capped mountain peaks. And in a 4-hour time period, you're actually going to go through 55 tunnels and 196 bridges and viaducts all through in this site. And they're more like red carriages on the tracks. Now, the Glacier Express, another very scenic journey. The Glacier Express is one of the slowest express trains in Europe with an average speed of about 24 miles per hour. And rightfully so, because you wouldn't want to speed through this area as it has great views of the Matterhorn. Not only that, but large panoramic windows. There are meals on board this train that you can order. And not only that, but it actually goes on very similar routes with the viaducts, the bridges, and again, about 2,000 meters above sea level. Now, those two trains are within this vacation package. It's a 9-day tour. It's called Scenic Switzerland from Zurich. Now, it starts from $2,249. And this journey, I know the map can kind of look a little up and down, left and right, but it's very easy. It just goes in a full rotation. So it begins and ends in Zurich. We can route it from Basel if you're coming off of a river cruise. And we'll take you to Lucerne for 3 nights. You'll head over to Lausanne for 1 night, riding the Golden Pass line, another scenic journey going through the valleys. You'll head over to Zermatt for 2 nights. Then on the Glacier Express to St. Moritz for 2 nights. Then the Bernina Express to then go back over to Zurich. And we include the rail in between, the hotel accommodations, and the day trips all within the journey. As you can see, the top left is Lucerne, a beautiful town. It's well known for its bridges as well as wooden structures. And not only that, but there's an amazing sight of a lion carved into the mountain. It's massive, stories high. And this is just a few of the attractions that you can feel free to walk around the town with. Now, in the top right is Zermatt. It's actually a car-free town. The only way to access it is by train, helicopter, or being dropped off by a taxi. And in this location, it was well known as a mountaineering base. Again, beautiful views of the Matterhorn in the distance. The bottom left is St. Moritz, and the bottom right is Lausanne, which again is location to one of the Olympic headquarters, which you can actually be training as an Olympic athlete for a day. Very exciting. It has very fun games and interactive museums all throughout the town. Now, that was more on the Switzerland, the top scenic trains that you can enjoy, but maybe you're looking for Norway. Maybe you want to get out and get more into nature itself. Well, Norway, this is the Flom Railway. In 2014, I believe it was ranked the most scenic journey in the world. and rightfully so because it goes right through a lush forest at a high elevation. There's a raging river that flows right by the train, and it actually ends at a waterfall where they stop the train. You get off for about 10 to 15 minutes to see the sights, take some photos before you get to Flom itself. Now, a very popular package that includes this train is the Grand Norway in a nutshell. 8 days, only starting from $1,599, and it's round trip out of Oslo. You'll stop in Flom and Bergen. And as you see there on the map, Gudvangen to Voss, that actually goes on a ferry through one of the narrowest fjords in the world. And a fjord is basically a thin strip of water with large mountain terrain surrounding the water itself. So it feels a very unique experience. Now that top left photo, that's actually the Eiger Viking Plink dinner. So it has a beer tasting with the dinner, so you can enjoy meals as if a Viking were. It's already included in your package. Now in the top right is the Oslo Opera House, which yes, you can actually walk on the roof all the way up to the top like a ramp, and then you can kind of see the city from a different perspective. There is the Sunset in Flom in the bottom left. It only has 2 lodges in that town with very limited space, and we have allotment in these highly sought out destinations. And then the bottom right is Bergen, well known for its harbors, as well as the wooden structures that it offers, great places to go shopping, boutiques, and much more. Now we're going to look into France and going over to Italy for Venice. Then I'm going to recommend the luxury train, the Venice Simplon-Orient-Express. The Venice Simplon-Orient-Express is an extremely scenic train, again, pure luxury, because as you're traveling through, you'll have your own cabin, your own suite. You can never overdress on this train, as you can actually wear men come in with tuxes, women with floor-length gowns. And it's because if you ever heard of the movie Murder on the Orient Express, well, this is the train it was based off of. Just a fun, interactive dinner, a train taking you to your next destination. It's very exciting. Now it's a 6-day tour, only starting from $4,819, and it will take you from London for one night, under the English Channel to Paris, and from there over to Venice for a 3-night stay. And then, of course, in Venice, we do have the hotel nights. You can visit the St. Mark's Basilica. You can go see a few other sites, and we even include a walking tour through Venice, which will take you to really unearth the hidden gems that the town has to offer. And do keep in mind, again, we can add any destinations to any one of these packages before, after, or in between. We can make it a round trip journey if need be to route the rail back to where you started. We can book the trip in reverse if you want to line it up with another vacation, upgrade you to first class, add sightseeing tours. And if you'd like, we can even upgrade you to your own private tours where you have half-day or full-day excursions in a specific city. And our hotel properties, again, 3, 4, and 5-star options on any one of our locations, just depending if you have maybe a large family and you want to visit a lot of sites, so you want it a little more cost efficient, or if you're celebrating an anniversary or a wedding proposal, then again, we can move it to 4 or 5-star. Now, there's always a handful of people on all of these presentations where they're huge fans of Harry Potter. Now, this is the Jacobite steam train. This is actually the train that is used in the film of the Harry Potter films. And so when you see them going on a viaduct turning into Hogwarts itself, well, you're not going to see Hogwarts, but you will see the train itself. So inside the train is exactly like the film. So many travelers want to be able to enjoy this specific steam train. Not only that, but when you're at the station, it's the same design as the movie itself. And they have a few little hidden features in the station itself because of what was in the movie itself. Now, this is in our complete Scotland by rail package. Now, this is going to be a journey that begins in Edinburgh for 2 nights, pre and post. You'll head to Inverness for 3 nights. You'll go over to see the Isle of Skye, a few other locations, Fort William. Then you'll stay a night in Glencoe to then go back over to Edinburgh. It's a 9-day tour, only starting from $1,799. And again, don't forget, we include the hotels, tours, activity, and the rail all within the package. We include access to Edinburgh Castle over there in the top left. We have also the other castle in the top right. We have the Isle of the Skye tour in the bottom left. as well as the harbor tours and the steam train that we have on the other right side. Now, what else is popular? Again, that was a taste of Scotland. Now we also have Alaska involved. Now, Alaska has been extremely popular, and I'm sure with many of you on this call right now would love to go to Alaska because many travelers, about 1.4 million travelers, were going to go over to Alaska by cruise. But again, due to the pandemic, the only alternative to really look at, which is the best alternative, is riding it by train. Now we can go to many different sites as well as all the way to Fairbanks, so you can actually see the northern lights from Alaska, and it's an extremely scenic journey. Now the Denali rail system, which you see on kind of the left side of the image, again, Denali rail system, it's a private railway system that we're partnered with, and it's just an extremely scenic journey going through. So there are two classes to keep in mind. We have an adventure class that provides amazing views of large square panoramic windows. They also have a Vista dome car, as you see in the bottom left, which has curved windows to see some sights. And they are seat reservations. There is dining on board the train and bar service available for purchase in the Wilderness Cafe. But if you want a little bit more of a luxurious experience, then there's a Gold Star service on the same train. So it switches to a two-level car where your seats are already large curved panoramic windows like the dome car, but much more larger. And then you're on the top floor. And then underneath that class is your dining hall where you can enjoy your meals on the dining hall itself. And they even include 2 complimentary adult beverages per passenger in the private bar. So this package is, this train is included in the highlights of Alaska with Alaska Railroad, a 7-day tour, only starting from $1,649, and you'll have 4 nights in Anchorage and 2 nights in Denali National Park. So not only are you taking the Denali rail system, but as well as visiting the national park at the lodges itself. In the top left is the trolley tour of Anchorage that we have included. We have a sightseeing cruise included through Resurrection Bay, which you see in the bottom right. We have the Denali National Park tour, which is on the top right. And the bottom left is the lodges in the national park itself. Now we do have special offers on these top destinations. We have Alaska by land on sale, which is saving $300 off per couple just for making a reservation for that package. Ireland's on sale, where you can save $400 off per couple for any Ireland package. And then our Grand Alaska Adventure with Alaska Railroad, northbound or southbound, is on sale for $400 off per couple. And maybe you're asking, what if you're just traveling on your own? Well, it's just that number in half. Now the Rocky Mountaineer. Now we're going to go from Alaska over to Canada. Now, many of you may have heard of the Rocky Mountaineer. It's a luxury train that goes right through the Canadian Rockies, and you actually do not sleep on the train. You actually stop along the way. So when you're on the Rocky Mountaineer, you are going to be riding from Vancouver, going over to Kamloops. You'll stay at the hotel there. Then you'll go from Kamloops over to Jasper or Banff or Calgary, whichever destination you'd like to go with. Now, there are 2 classes to keep in mind with the Rocky Mountaineer. There's a Silverleaf and Goldleaf class. Silverleaf, very comfortable seats, large curved windows, and there's actually meals included with the fare that you can enjoy at your seats. But if you wanted to go to Goldleaf class, again, it's more of a premium option. Now you're going to go to a 2-level car where you'll sit at the top seats, just like kind of the adventure class, where they're curved panoramic windows. You can enjoy your seating, and they actually have a guide on board that actually announces the different sites you're seeing along the way. And then you will go to the first floor underneath your class where there's a private dining car where you can enjoy your meals. Now, whether you're in Silverleaf or Goldleaf, the meals are completely the same. The only difference is where you're enjoying them and, of course, the windows themselves. Now, a popular question I get asked is that people would love traveling on the Rocky Mountaineer, but they actually do want to sleep on the train and have that experience going through the Canadian Rockies. Well, that's where we would recommend the Via Rail. Now, the Via Rail is the more cost-efficient train that goes through the same route through the Canadian Rockies, but you actually sleep on the train as you get over to Jasper. So with this, there's the economy class, there's the the cabin for one, cabin for two, and the berths that are available for you to be able to get your own private quarters, your own beds, and the comfort to be able to go through the routes of the Canadian Rockies. Now, some travelers, they actually can't choose between either of them. So then that's why we actually have access to both of them in one package. This is our Grand Circle of the Canadian Rockies, a 9-day tour. It's only starting from $3,849, and it includes both of those trains, where you'll go through Vancouver to Kamloops and Banff on the Rocky Mountaineer. Then you'll come back from Jasper to Vancouver on the Via Rail. We do include the hotels, tours, activity, the rail, and this is all in one single package going to Vancouver, Jasper, Banff, and even visiting Lake Louise, which is the most photographed location in Canada. Now, this is the gone over in Australia. So going from Canada to Australia, it's one of the most luxurious trains. It's over 90 years old, and it crosses through the outback. So again, seeing a lot of wildlife on this train system. And then another popular one is the Indian Pacific in the same area, except going from the mid area over to the east. Now with these trains, again, they have their own suites, their own dining car, professional meals prepared on board by a chef. And this package is called Sydney to Darwin. 14 days, only starting from $3,199. And again, it's a 2-week journey to see some incredible sights. And you'll be staying 3 nights on board the train itself. We have a tour through the Kangaroo Island tour, a tour in Darwin over in the top left. There's the Falls tour in the bottom left, as well as there's ways to see the harbor, and there's even very fast ferries to get on the water itself. Now, we're going to pretty much do a full circle here as we're getting towards the end here. And again, if there's any questions, start putting them in the question tab so we can get as much as we can in there. But my question to you right now is, which destinations are you really thinking about traveling to? Is it anything I mentioned here with the scenic journeys? Are there any ones that caught your eye? Or is there a specific journey that you do have in mind that you do want to see? Feel free to put your answers in the question box, as well as when you're looking at traveling. This year, next year, the year after, feel free to put that in there. Now, again, another thing, the maximum flexibility offer. This is going to allow you to book in confidence, where when you're looking at trips, whether it's just dreaming about what's coming out, or if it's actually about planning a journey, again, we can book up to 24 months in advance, but as long as you book by September 30th, if changes need to occur or cancellations need to occur, as long as we have 5 days before departure, you can do so, where you will not face any kind of fees or incurring any kind of change or even cancellation fees, which we've never had before. And you can always speak to our team members so they can go into a little bit deeper with you on it. And then why do our travelers love Railbookers? Is because we can book up to 24 months in advance, which is incredible that we can do that. Our bucket list experiences, many of the different locations are on bucket lists for many different travelers, and we can do it all in one single phone call. You now have freedom and flexibility to roam around during your travels. It's the most scenic way to travel, as you can see here. You can deposit now, as long as the journey is outside of 90 days. All we need is a deposit, and then final payment is not required until the 90-day mark. You can choose your own accommodations from 3, 4, 5-star options, and everything that we offer is fully customizable. So if you need to break something down, start it from scratch, we can do so. So now you don't have to worry about looking online to find that exact package that fits in your work schedule, gives you the available time that you're looking for, the exact cities that you wanted to see. We can make it completely custom to what you're looking for. And this is a few of our customer testimonials. I'm not going to read it word for word. I'll allow you to do that. But with these customer testimonials, the one thing I've noticed that's pretty in sync with everyone is that the convenience and the perfect itinerary, where now you don't have to figure out which tours are working, which hotels are available, the lodges, do the trips connect with each other. Just call Railbookers and then we can make it happen for you. And we know because we go. Our team members have been to these destinations, so when you call our consultants, they're not just someone who's putting together a reservation, they've actually been to these sites. So they're very excited to put together your perfect dream vacation. And our website's very easy to navigate. Just go to railbookers.com. You can go under special offers to see all the different promotions we have on certain packages, as well as how to request a quote. Now, what I do want to mention to everyone here is that in order to get a quote or reservation, you always need to call our team. You would not be able to do it online. But what I recommend is if you're looking to get a quote with Railbookers, first call your local travel agent. Call your travel agent that you're currently working with, or if you're not working with a travel agent, reach out to your local agency. And we're more than happy to work with your agent so we can do the back and forth conversations, so we can plan your vacation so you can just kind of dust off your hands and see the magic happen. So again, if you're already working with a travel agent, I'd reach out to them. And if you're not working with one, I'd recommend reaching out to your local agency. And if, of course, you have any kind of questions, by all means, feel free to give us a call. Now, we do have e-brochures that are available. Railbookers offers a brochure that's all about pretty much a general perspective of our vacation packages we offer. The Via Rail Vacations brochure is specifically on our Canadian journeys. The Eurostar Vacations brochure is for all of our European journeys. And then Trenitalia Vacations is specifically on Italy itself. So if you like any of these brochures to have access to, feel free to give us a call. We can get this emailed over directly to you. All you have to do is just give a call at the number at the bottom, 888-829-3040, and we'll get it emailed directly over to your inbox with whichever one you'd like, or if you like all of them. Now, I won't be on this slide too long. It's just our recent awards and recognition. So with this, we were featured on Wheel of Fortune, Forbes, Travel and Leisure, Travel Weekly, and many more different platforms, and as well as our recent awards, which we're just grateful we can continue to provide excellent service to all of our clients. And we also have upcoming webinars for all of our travelers. So for August 11th, we're going over the 5 of the best train vacations in Canada for 2021. The 12th, we have 7 things you didn't know about overnight rail vacations with Amtrak Vacations, which is more focused towards domestic US travel. The 18th, we have 7 of the most scenic rail routes in Switzerland. And the 19th is traveling coast to coast by train with Amtrak Vacations and what you need to know. So if any of these are different sessions, they're going to have latest updates. They are provided by our sister brands, Amtrak Vacation. If you would like access to these training webinars, or well, more focus on like anything that you would like more information on the destinations, feel free to call our team and then we can get these out to you. If you were able to register for this presentation, then you should receive an email. But if you want to make sure, feel free to give us a call. Now, don't forget, download those free handouts here on the side, because once we end, you will not be able to download it later. It's only while we're live right now. And if you have any questions, now is the time to put them in the question tab, and I'll be more than happy to provide as many answers as I can. So I'm pulling this up now. So again, any kind of questions, feel free to do so. Now I see here, Jennifer's asking if I can get a paper brochure, and we do have 2020 paper brochures. However, due to the pandemic and things like that, we've actually been kind of leaning more towards the e-brochures, just the online brochures. So if you would like the online brochures for 2020, 2021, then by all means, feel free to reach out to our team. But we currently do not have paper brochures that we can send out to everyone, as of not yet, as we're still identifying if we want to keep the paper brochures or not. Okay, and just continue any kind of questions you may have. Okay, I see here, what is the deposit amount? So when it comes to the deposit, all it is just $250 per passenger, plus the cost of trip protection, and then that locks you into a reservation, and we could accept a deposit as long as it's outside of 90 days before departure. And then the final payment is actually not required until we hit the 90-day mark. So you can have a different, you can book a year in advance. We do not require monthly payments. We do not require payment plans. Just as long as the 90-day mark hits and we receive the final payment, everything is perfect. And the, again, deposit amount 250 plus trip protection. So if you would like trip protection, where it protects you to travel up to 1 business day prior to departure, well, then that would be included in your deposit. If you do not want the trip protection, then it's just the $250 per passenger. And Estrella, I see that you're asking, how do I download the 4 documents? So all you have to do is go to the side tab under handouts. You click on the down arrow, which I'm going to try to do right here. And then you just double click on the brochures, well, not the brochures, as on the flyer itself. Just double click on it and it should link up to your desktop. If for some reason it's not, just give us a call and we can get it directly emailed over to you. But it really shows our latest promotions as well as the map system of the rail system. And of course, it also shares with you the maximum flexibility offer, which when you call our team, you can ask about it and they can also go into detail with you on it as well. I see here, does it cost more to customize a vacation? So great question. It does not actually. So all it is that when you customize a trip, you do not get an increased price because it's not a package. You actually, the only difference is that we can quote a package over the phone in maybe 3 to 5 minutes with all the hotels, activities, a full itinerary, and we can email it directly over to you while you're on the phone. But if you want to customize it, then it may take an extra 5-10 minutes, depending on how much customization it is, and then we can get the quote out to you. So that's the only difference, just the length of time it actually gets out to you. But it does not increase the price at all because it's just basically whatever's in the package totals out a price. So okay, Estrella, great question here. So if there is a price decrease between the booking time and the travel time, do you adjust the price? Great question. And we actually do not adjust the price. So when we receive the deposit, your trip is good. So we do not decrease the price because we're not monitoring the live pricing after a reservation is made, just like we wouldn't increase the price if the price increases. So that's kind of like the way it works. We do work with live dynamic pricing. So when you call in, we will give you the exact live price of the vacation journey. And so if you'd like to move forward, then that's the live price we can grab. But the moment someone books a hotel, someone makes a specific reservation on the rail system, well, the next one goes up in price. So if you book after someone does that, well, then the price would increase. So whether it increases or decreases, once you place the deposit or book your journey, then you do not have to worry about it fluctuating because now you're set for your vacation. But great question. Now I see by Terry's asking if the trips are handicap accessible. So yes, we do have journeys that are handicap accessible. Just when you call our team members, mention that to them. And if you're restricted to a wheelchair, we would ask the dimensions, how many wheels, and what you may need. Because some travelers, they do require oxygen tanks to carry with them as well. And just let our team members be aware of that, and they can recommend certain packages that do have handicap accessibility. We do have tours that do offer handicap accessibility, and we do have tours that do not. So once you mention that to them, they can help you with the options that are available to you. Perfect. Well, I want to thank everyone again. And one thing our team wants to share with you is when you're ready, we're ready. All of our team members and staff were relocated home based before it was actually required by the government. So it's been many, many months since we've been home based. And it's because we're very excited to help you with any kind of journey you're looking to put together. And again, our team members have been to these destinations, so they know the feeling of what it's like to plan for a vacation trip for themselves. And they want to give you that same experience when they're planning your vacation trip. So thank you again for joining us with Railbookers. Again, you can call us to reach us for any kind of quotes or reservations. And the best thing you can do outside of that is actually calling your local travel agent for a quote so we can assist with your travel agent for your vacation. We hope you have a great day. This is Baltazar with Railbookers. Everyone stay safe.